Hey, everybody. It's Wednesday. You know what that means. Yes, that's right. Time for Sarcastic Distractions, the interesting podcast for interesting people. Featuring the Gentleman Society of Podcasting. Myself, Harvey. My heterosexual life mate, David.
Hello.
And the ever-loving AJ.
Hey, what's going on here?
Nice.
Setting us up
Very
nice.
well.
Good primer, sir. And when I wake up in the morning, I can't remember the rest of it.
Alarm gives out a warning.
Yeah. I don't think I'll ever make it on time. So
Something
it's
about
time
the
to grab
bell.
my books and give myself a look and get myself on the bus. So to see this, get myself going to see the bus rush by. It's all right because I'm Saved by the Bell.
Yes.
Something like that.
89%.
Something, yeah, yeah, it's pretty good. I
Come
pass in like one of those song lyrics generator things. Yeah.
They pick it up.
So, in case you figured it out, we're talking about a show that helped raise us, really, and that is known as Saved by the Bell. If you are not a fan of Saved by the Bell, why? Curious to know why.
Why?
I would
Why
like to
though?
know
Why?
what makes you
Yeah.
not
Fuck
be a
not.
fan.
Stay for the entire podcast, listen to our
Exactly.
perspective, and happily send us a mail of why.
Why? Why don't you like Saved by the Bell? And why have you never watched
Why?
it? I'm curious to know. Anyways, it was a staple for us growing up, and I would even say even into our late teens and even 20s a bit, watching little bits of Saved by the Bell here and there.
Into my
You're speaking
40s,
for
man.
yourself.
Yeah, I am definitely speaking for myself.
Both
Well, now,
of you are now.
now definitely in our 40s watching the reboot, remake, or whatever. So, yeah.
I watch the original now. What's wrong with you?
That's good.
I have to admit,
That's
I
good now.
haven't seen any of the rebooty one for myself. I can't speak to that one.
I just started watching it last night. did.
Fair.
Well, because, okay, I consider myself, and whatever, I'd like a Saved by the Bell expert. I can honestly say,
Really?
oh, yeah. I can say that I've seen every single episode of after Good Morning Miss Bliss and the college years. In between that time, every
the
episode.
seminal Saved by the Bell.
Pardon me?
The
Seminole,
seminal.
exactly. Yeah.
Saved by the Bell.
I've definitely seen every episode at least 6 times. Everyone. I know this for a
Impressive.
fact. I know this for a fact because they used to play on reruns. Obviously, we watched it as a kid, but
Yeah.
then when I got older, it would be the one thing I'd watch, and I definitely watched it 6 times.
See, it's
over.
funny because
Oh, yeah.
I counted them.
for me, I just associate Saved by the Bell as the after school when I was at the babysitters.
Oh yeah, definitely.
That's kind of where it is in my head. Not in a bad way. Like I remember
Oh, no,
watching it and stuff, but I will admit that, I remember episodes, the characters, Zach being the big one for
Yeah.
me as a
Yeah.
kid. But yeah, I did not watch, I maybe watched the same amount, but only because it happened to be on the telly
For
while
sure.
I was at the babysitters.
Yeah, I'd probably watch it as much as you have.
Probably have
if
to.
not, maybe more.
Maybe. But I do consider
And
myself,
recently.
I would say you two are probably a bit of an expert as well, or are an expert. Like I just was obsessed because I wanted high school to be that.
Oh, I wanted to be Zach Morris.
Yeah, definitely wanted to be that. For
yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
I wanted a rivalry with somebody like Slater because he was so badass.
Well, it was the fake rivalry.
Yeah,
it was
really,
they fight-ish,
for sure,
They were
but in
bros.
that fun way.
They were bros.
Oh, yeah.
they were bros. They
Oh,
were
hell yeah.
bros. And I mean, even Screech in all his dorkiness, he proved so useful. The only hang up he really had is he couldn't get over Lisa. That was his only hang up.
It's kind of understandable.
Oh, sure, she's
Yeah.
an awesome hot chick. Like,
They all
and she
looked good.
Yeah, for sure.
Don't get
was
me
good.
wrong. If we were to rate, fine. I will admit, for me, Tiffany was up there.
Oh yeah,
Or
Kelly, yeah.
Kelly, sorry, her
No,
character name. Apologies
I
for
mean-
using the real name.
Let's be honest for a second. When you saw her on screen, like there was no girl like her when we were that young.
No.
There was
No.
like, nobody.
No.
Like what the?
Sorry.
I couldn't even believe that person exists.
And every so often, you get the episode where they would start to dance or sing
yes,
or get
yes,
in
yes.
gymnast outfits or something, and just I turned off the television because it was inappropriate for me to enjoy
It was
that.
wrong.
Right. Yeah, of
It was
course.
wrong.
So wrong. Yeah, for sure. But even Jessie was a great character. The whole liberal viewpoint and all that sort of stuff. I thought it was really
And at that point too, yeah,
Very progressive.
on a children's Saturday morning. That's where it originally,
Yeah.
before it went into syndication. Yeah, on a children's show aimed at children and teens,
Children.
I guess,
for sure.
tweens. Yeah, it was. They had a lot of. They touched on a lot of important
Oh yeah,
things
definitely.
that were
Yeah.
going on at that time too.
yeah. Like I remember the marijuana one. That's the one I remember the most.
Oh, we'll
of.
talk about that.
Oh, we'll talk about that. Yeah, that one. I love that episode so much.
That would be. I was scrolling through because I found that I can not have to watch the episode if I just click through it. Then my brain's like, oh yeah, right, that one. Oh yeah, right, that one. But I had to stop and watch the No Hope with Dope.
Oh, I love that one.
I have to admit, I didn't watch the full episode. I watched one of those Funny or Die cuts.
Oh, the Zach Morris's trash.
Yeah, I have to admit, watching it in that method as I'm now older. Okay, +1.
Yeah, you're like, holy shit.
You really realize how horrible of a human being he is.
Horrible, man.
He's a terrible person.
Just the worst. Like,
Extortion.
if you knew this person in real life, you would go far away from them.
Yeah.
Oh,
if
yeah.
you could.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to get me into so much
Without a
trouble.
doubt. Without a doubt.
For sure.
There's countless episodes where, definitely extortion was a big
thing.
plot point.
Yeah. Usually always propagated by Zach. Like, he was always the one.
Yeah. No matter who got in trouble, right? Somebody would get in trouble like, oh, we need $600 for cheerleading outfits, and he would have a scheme.
The fundraising scheme.
Yeah.
But then there would be sometimes a scheme within the scheme, because it'd be like, how do I get money without having to get them? Without having to give them all the money.
Yeah, for sure.
Right?
I just need to take my percentage of the cut. That's all.
The beautiful irony of Zach is, if he was to take all that effort and energy and talent and intelligence and applied it to something other than trying to scam out of school or things, who could he become? Who could he become?
The governor of
Oh,
California.
that's right. That's exactly who he becomes, which is a perfect fit for Zach
Does
Morris.
he actually become that in the
In
series
the reboot.
later on?
In the reboot.
Nice.
But the best part is they do it in a way where he's the same person. Like, he's still fucking shit up, but he's trying to figure it out as a governor. It's way bigger and way worse now. It's great.
A little bit more important as a government.
A little
I guess,
bit more.
you know,
Yeah, was it $10 billion thing or something? Mistake in the first episode of the reboot. I think it's $10 billion.
I watched it once.
And that's his thing. It's like, come on, haven't you all made a $10 billion mistake? It's like, no, none of us have done that. You have, anyway.
I wouldn't even accept a $10 mistake.
Not as a governor.
If my children made that mistake, get out.
Get out of here.
I can understand Zach being jealous of Slater, though.
Oh, dude.
Oh, Slater looks good.
Well, he looks good. That fucking perm fro mullet.
I'd pay good money
so
for
sexy.
that.
I'll take that.
But he can dance.
Yep.
He can drum.
Mm-hmm.
He's a top athlete.
Yep.
And he could probably sing and do other shit too.
For sure.
Right? So and Zach can't really do,
not to mention Mario Lopez looks exactly the same way as he did now as he did 30 years ago.
He doesn't age.
Actually,
didn't age.
The four of them, not Screech, because he's special, unfortunately. But and I can't remember what show it was, the late night where they actually did a get together or something.
Oh, the
Jimmy Fallon.
Jimmy Fallon.
Yeah. And they actually got to, and I'm looking at it going, like, don't get me wrong, yes, they look older, but they mostly actually just look the same.
They really do. It's kind of crazy, right?
Yeah.
It was.
And we're going to dedicate this episode to Dustin Diamond. May he rest in peace.
Yeah.
Moved on. Yeah.
I knew he had passed, but and that he's had a bumpy-ish, unfortunately.
It was he had a troubled. He was troubled ever since really probably the new class ended.
Yeah. No fault or excuses, but he was typecast. He was typecast in the Screech role, and he couldn't get out of it.
Yeah,
that's got to be really frustrating.
Well, with the exception of the Tiffany Amber, haven't they all basically done just that?
No, Mario's gone on to have a pretty decent career as a host and beyond. Mark Paul has done so much different acting all over the place.
Oh yeah, he's been in some decent shows too. There's a show called Franklin and Bash.
Yep, it's a good show.
With him and another dude. They're two lawyers, but they do
Breckenmeyer.
things. Yeah, Breckenmeyer. They do things unconventionally.
Oh,
It was actually funny. It's
actually a really, really, really good show.
Oh, plus
one of my favorite movies, Dead Man on Campus.
Oh, that's a great movie.
Mark Paul was in that as the slacker stoner roommate.
Yeah.
Nice.
Basically Zach Morris if
he was high.
If he was just
if he was high all the time. Yeah.
If you not, it only lasted a season, but the show Pitch, which was about the first female baseball pitcher in the MLB.
Oh, okay.
Mark Paul plays a catcher in it. And I didn't even know it when I started watching the show. I didn't even recognize him. He was so good in the role.
Oh, nice.
And then I saw his name flash up at the credits. I'm like, where?
What was
Where
he?
was he doing? I was like, and the second was like, wow. So he's had a promising career acting. NYPD Blue, he was in that for a good long stint. So he's done a lot of that stuff. Lark Voorhees, I know that she also has had some trouble as well. I don't think it's in the same vein as Dustin. It's something.
I saw her on, I can't remember what talk show it was, but it was quite recently.
Dr. Oz.
Was it Dr. Oz?
Yeah,
and she has mental health issues, I believe.
Yeah.
She suffers from... I'm not sure what, but she suffers from some form of mental health issue.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's unfortunate because I know at the time when she was going through some things, the tabloids and stuff were
being tabloids.
Yeah. And it's like, she's like, this is not my life.
She was in, was it, How High?
Yep. She was in How High.
With Method Man and Red Man.
Yep. She did a good job in that too.
She played the love interest in that one, yeah.
She was great in that.
Good.
And I think that was before the mental health issues really started to take hold.
Thankfully, I haven't seen it yet, but I know they included her in the reboot, so they've
so probably in the
integrate all of it.
I would, sorry. I know where now. I know how,
Yeah.
You'd have to watch it.
I'm on episode 3, so I'll be watching more tonight.
Okay.
And stuff. So that's where
it's really not bad. It's the writing's pretty good. The jokes land.
So what is the context of the reboot though? Like they can't be back in school. Just a high level.
Okay.
So it's still set at Bayside.
Okay.
And Slater is a gym coach.
Yeah. So all that star athlete power to become a gym coach.
Jesse is the guidance counselor, I believe, of the school.
Nice.
And then
I was like, what?
Zach and Kelly are still married.
Yeah.
And their son goes to this school.
Oh, okay.
So Mac Morris is his name.
Yeah.
Mac.
Actually.
And they Zach and Kelly pop in and out every so often.
Yeah.
They're not as
involved
in it as Mario and Elizabeth Berkley, Jessie.
But I think that makes sense though, because I mean, you don't want parents involved too much anyway, because that's not the show it is. But I would say for Mac's parents, you don't want them there all the time. You want, because I mean, Zach's parents were never involved, really, rarely.
A couple times, yeah.
Yeah.
I think you got maybe 3 episodes with Mom, and then 2 with Dad.
I love that there's a count.
Yeah, I think 2 with Dad. Yeah, I know. And I know one of them was a car accident. I think that was the same episode with the. No,
that was drinking. That was that. See, now
that was one of my episodes, by the way.
Okay, we're gonna have to talk about that season because that season just fucks my brain up.
So weird. You had Kelly, and you had Jessie, then you had Tori. It's like, what the fuck's going on?
And where did they go? They were never mentioned again.
I know.
Like,
gone.
Well, I learned about why they never re-upped their contract for season 4.
Oh.
And they only appear in the graduation episode, but the graduation episode was filmed at the end of season 3.
Oh, that's fucked
so that's
up.
why they're in the graduation episode and Tori's not.
Wow.
But Tori's in the rest of the season, and she just shows up.
Yeah.
She just shows up, and then she's gone
Sure.
with no explanation.
Yeah.
Same with Kelly and Jessie, no explanation.
Yeah,
just not
there.
Just not there.
Weird.
Fucking weird.
So weird.
But no, that's I don't. Do we see Zach's mom in that episode?
In the
you guys know a lot more about these episodes than me. I must freely admit this.
Because there's the Christmas episodes.
Yeah, she was in that one,
which was a 2-parter.
Yeah, it was a 2-parter. Dad was not in that one.
No,
Mom was in that one.
And
that was another episode. My other favorite episode. I want to talk about today too.
And she was in the one with the fake IDs.
Yeah, fake IDs.
And then
that was the one where they're going to the bar. Kelly was dating what's his face?
Jeff.
Right after the Malibu episodes.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, before.
No. The Jeff thing.
Or was it during? No, it was before because she wasn't dating Jeff in the Malibu episodes.
No, she started dating him. Yeah. That's where she met him.
No, she met him at the Max. He was the new manager at the Max.
Oh, you're right.
And she was working there and met him and left Zach for him.
Yes.
Well, they broke up because she called Zach Jeff.
I could have swore though
when they were on a date.
The Malibu episodes.
No.
Okay.
I do remember she had an older boyfriend, but that's all I remember.
That was Jeff.
Far deeper into this guy.
That's who we're talking about. Is her older boyfriend. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
The Malibu episodes are good too.
They're so good. Leah Remini coming into her own then.
Right.
Those ones. Yeah.
Nice.
Sure. Yeah.
During Scientology.
Yeah, when she was
she was
full-fledged.
fucking head deep. Yeah, head deep in it.
No,
But yeah,
I don't really remember those ones myself. I have to.
The
admit.
summer ones? No, I like those ones
I
a
don't
lot.
remember.
It's when they worked at the beach club.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
I remember them existing, but for whatever reason, I never really watched many of those. Can't really say as to why.
To be fair, there was only 6 episodes. I think it wasn't many.
And the continuity is kind of skewed too, because they would air them. They would air like a school episode, and then a beach episode, and then a school episode, then a beach
really,
episode.
gotcha,
So it wasn't even
just,
really.
Yeah.
It was a strange season.
But yeah, Saved by the Bell. I
Bing, 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 bing.
I can't think of. You think of the fact that it was a sitcom designed for kids,
Right.
at a time that
Teenagers.
teenagers,
Yeah,
sure,
like let's be
Tweens.
fair.
yeah, tweens, yeah.
Yeah.
But that
Teens,
was not
tweens.
heard of back then. You know,
Yes, it was.
in the 80s.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess you had Degrassi.
Well, there was no. So I guess it depends on your full concept too, because there was Degrassi, Wonder Years.
I would say Wonder
Do not
Years.
knock Wonder
Oh
Years.
God, no,
Okay.
no. Wonder Years. Listen, as an aspiring writer, Whiteout.
Wida.
As an aspiring writer, Wonder Years is like the backbone for my families. When I'm writing families, that's what I envision. As I have nothing but massive respect for the Wonder Years, but I would hazard to say the Wonder Years was a family show. I don't think you would classify that as a kids show.
Agreed.
A school show, fair.
Yeah.
A school show.
Okay, we'll say school show.
Yeah,
Sure. We'll say
school show. Fine.
Well,
I will give you
because
that.
Saved by the Bell was designed to be on.
The school.
Well, at the same
Or
time as
the-
cartoons,
Yeah.
right, on Saturday mornings.
Well, see, that's the thing that I found funny, though, because you describe it that way. And again, sure, it was, because as I watched it coming home from school for the babysitters, all that, blah, blah, blah. But then, yeah, there's the marijuana episode, which is
Right.
funny.
Well,
True.
they dealt with a lot
very
of
true.
actually.
And then there's the dancing and the things
dancing.
they dance in.
There's some kind of rapey things too. Yeah, they definitely tackle a lot.
They tackle a lot of
They
fucking
do.
heavy shit, like addiction,
Yeah,
with
addiction.
with Jesse being addicted to caffeine
Oh.
pills
And
that-
education.
yes.
in the
She's
I'm
really
so
addicted to
excited
education.
episode.
I solved one of those problems.
Well, they deal with that too, though, right? With her being so neurotic about having to be perfect, not only in the caffeine pill. I'm so excited.
Oh, the SAT episode.
But yeah, the SAT episode
Yeah.
where Zach gets a higher score.
Yeah, he does shit and he gets a better score than Jesse. He's like, Jesse's just in her mind. I'm like,
Well, that's
I would too.
understandable,
I would
actually.
too. Like,
Did that not
fucking
turn
work
out to
my
be a
ass off.
mistake, though? Oh
No,
no,
I don't
no,
think
it didn't.
No, it didn't.
No, I did. I just watched that episode the other night, and it just ends on a freeze frame because Zach gets the actor dude. What's his name? Oh fuck, can't remember.
Harvard. Oh shoot, can't remember
What
his
the
name now.
fuck's his name?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
It's a stupid actor that they got to play in the same episode, play Belding, and then went to Belding.
No, that's a
played-
different one.
Oh, that's right. It wasn't.
That was the episode where Zach wanted to go on the ski trip,
right.
and that's the one where his dad,
Right.
with his dad in it.
Yeah.
One of the ones with his dad. But they get the same guy
Same actor. Yeah.
because he works at the Max again. Because he's an out of work stage actor.
working at the Max.
But yeah, it ends with him going into Belding's office as like a doctor or something like that who works with geniuses. As like, you'll burn him out if you put him in all these high end classes and shit like that.
Gotcha.
And then Belding's just like, okay. And then
The
it
Belding
ends-
character was always amusing.
So amusing. Yeah.
Even at the time, it was funny. Like, I could never imagine talking to my principal that often, being that close.
No.
In a good way.
I know.
And then, of course, when I look at it as an adult, I look at it, and I don't know the exact episode, but I can remember one where he actually goes to the kid's house or something.
That was the episode where his brother comes in to be a substitute teacher.
He's a cool guy.
Oh, okay.
I think. No,
I couldn't
no,
speak to the
different
episode. I just
episode.
remember.
But yes, there is an episode where he quits or something like that, and he
Okay, at least
ends
he
up
quit
staying at. He ends up like broing out with Zach and Slater and having
Yes.
a pizza party in Zach's room. Or
I
some
remember
shit.
that.
Yeah.
Just them being in the room.
Was it the episode with the brother?
I
don't
can't
know.
answer that one by any
Can't
stretch.
remember.
But I just remember that episode, and when this
I don't
came up
think it
as the
is.
topic, I was like,
No.
how could
I'll find
that
it.
ever actually happen in the really
It's true.
real-
That would never happen.
Not in a
Oh, no.
million
Not in a
years.
million years.
If it happened, that would be a you're probably going to go to jail shortly.
Right?
Well, it's funny you say that because, like, I remember having at least a decent relationship with our principal or whatever in school, but I don't even remember their names anymore. When I think of the teachers I was close to that I admired, respect, and had long conversations with, I would never think to hang out with them outside of school. It would just not even be in my mind.
At least with a teacher, even in high school, like you're seeing that teacher frequently for that hour and a half, blah, blah, blah. In public school, you see the teacher constantly.
Of course, yeah.
Right? The principal, like my only memory of a principal, and this is going way, way back just to prove how old I am, I accidentally threw a snowball at a teacher, got called in the principal's office. What does the principal do? Pulls out a strap and smacks the table, says, you come up here once more, you'll be the one getting smacked.
Yeah. That was
Jesus
it.
H.
Yeah. Jesus.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure he was actually lying to me in retrospect because even though I'm old, you can't even do that back in the early 80s. So
that was a 70s thing, not an 80s
yeah,
thing.
exactly.
Sure.
Yeah.
It was the episode where everybody in the gang has a fight with their respective other. So Zach and Kelly are fighting.
One of those.
Slater and Jesse are fighting, and then Belding and his old lady get into a tiff, and his wife kicks him out.
Oh, right,
and he ends up at Zach's broing out because they're all in the doghouse with their ladies.
I imagine the concept behind that is just so bad. I love it.
I would like to know what was going on in the writer's room during some of these episodes.
I have no idea.
How do you write? How is it okay to write a Saturday morning cartoon where Zach gets the idea to send the girls to some sleazy photographer to get them photographed in their bathing suits for a calendar to sell at the school store, and he's allowed to sell these things in the store.
I know.
Yep.
It's crazy.
Like, it just, how does that pass any sort of standards
By the way,
and practices?
That episode was the only time we ever saw the store at Bayside.
Yep.
Like, it never existed any other episodes.
No. Apparently there was a pool.
Apparently.
Yeah.
I never saw it, though. Yeah.
Well, but yeah, and again, this will come up in the brains and people's thoughts many times. There's no way you could make that today.
God, no.
Oh, well, let me rephrase. There's no way you can make that today for a child of, 10 years old to watch during day. Could you make something like that as an evening cartoon? Well, hell, fuck yeah.
Yeah. I would agree with you. I don't think they could do that.
There's
today.
a lot of things that, like the Running Zach episode.
Oh, yeah.
They would never be able to get away with that.
Yeah.
The way that they stereotype and misrepresent the native culture is just mind-boggling. It's fucking rude.
I don't remember that one, I have to admit.
So basically the end of the episode, when Zach realizes he is native, or he's got indigenous blood in him, and then he fucks up and he does his presentation, he still does it in like full-on indigenous gear.
Oh yeah!
Like, what? So cringeworthy.
Yeah.
So cringeworthy.
Yeah. Oh, well. But back then,
didn't know. You didn't know.
We didn't know
things.
Now
right?
we know.
But a progressive show. I mean, first off, Lisa. This is '89. Lisa is a progressive black woman who is into fashion and all that stuff. Like that stuff wasn't like we didn't.
They didn't really put her in the. A lot of the time, sometimes they did, but they didn't really put her in that token black person role, really.
She was just part of the gang.
Yeah.
Which is awesome.
That's my memory of it.
There was a flip side to it for sure, with, like you said, Jessie being that sort of progressive woman.
But then,
as
like,
well.
the whole nerd thing, it's like, I mean, it's such a weird thing. But I guess, we had defined roles when we were growing up, too.
Almost any show movie from back in that day had defined roles.
Yeah.
Like, it's just that was kind of the thing. And that was always because you would define yourself with that. Now, sometimes, and they did it to make fun of it themselves, or toy with it a bit, maybe is a better way.
Yeah.
Like, again, the movie that's popping in my brain that, of course, I can't think of the name right now, is the classic.
Which one?
Where they're in detention.
Oh, that would be. Oh no, I'm not going to.
The Breakfast Club.
Breakfast Club.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That one.
Yeah.
Like that's another. It's a classic. Actually, would that have been about the same time? When was Breakfast Club?
A little bit before that.
Yeah.
Maybe a couple of years before that.
Yeah.
But even still, what an other ludicrous concept! You're going to fucking detention on a Saturday?
Right?
No, that's not happening. Like,
would never happen
would
nowadays.
Never happen.
No.
I don't think it would happen back then either. Like, you're gonna give it some.
That happened in Saved by the Bell.
That's true.
They went and did the SATs on a Saturday.
That's true. Yeah. I don't know how. I'm not American, so I don't know how the SATs work. Maybe they do have you come in. And do
I don't.
I don't know either. to be honest.
I can tell you. But yeah. So you wanted to discuss episodes. Is that correct, AJ?
Sure.
All right.
Let's discuss.
Lead away.
Oh, you want me to
I'm
go
going to say,
first?
we've kind of already chatted about a few.
A few, yeah.
Yeah, quite a few. I mean, I had the No Hope with Dope episode was among my top 3.
Oh,
That
yeah,
line
that's the
is
one I
amazing.
remember too, yeah. Because he's all buddy-buddy with this guy. And
The
then,
actor.
Yeah, the actor. And then, yeah, they start to have a joint and he like freaks out and everybody wants to leave because they're having one joint. It's just one of those.
Doesn't oh yeah, Zach encourages Kelly not to go through with it.
Just to have that puff.
And then they
Don't
leave.
Have the puff.
Shows how good of a friend Zach is. No,
Totally.
in that moment.
Yeah, because that's one when he was like he wasn't ripping anybody off, but he was playing kind of jerky-ish. My memory of that one.
He was, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it was him and Kelly weren't together. They were just friends at that point in time. And so he was still trying to be her friend, but they were still kind of in that tense area. Yeah.
I just remember him selling stuff or something, but I could be wrong.
Zach was selling something. I'm not sure what it was now.
No, okay. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no, that's what. He was selling all of the actor's stuff. That's what he was doing. He was selling the actor's stuff to
Like
make
stuff
money.
that he touched or something like that, yeah.
Which is actually a pretty good scam. It's pretty smart. You got an actor in your school.
Yeah, I remember that episode for that.
For sure.
Which was basically a giant PSA funded by NBC.
It was.
Oh, yeah.
At the end of it, you have the president of NBC, Brandon Tartikoff.
Tartikoff, exactly. Who was a massive a fan of Saved by the Bell. Massive. He was.
Okay.
Oh, I would be at NBC too because it was making him
money.
Yeah, it's interesting. It was making money, but from what I know, they never knew they were going to make it another season.
Yeah.
It's interesting to think that it was always at the last minute when they're like, oh, yeah, no, we want Saved by the Bell to come back. Like, oh, okay.
It was a very haphazard show.
Yeah, it really was. It's amazing that it stayed together for as long as it did.
4 years? Well,
Longer than that.
Five if you include Miss Bliss.
So, 5 or 6. Didn't they do 2 seasons of Miss Bliss?
Nope.
Oh, it was 1 season.
Just one.
Okay, so
and it was a Disney Channel show.
That's right. It was.
The continuity of that being the first episodes of Saved by the Bell really don't.
Oh, they don't line up.
They
Because that
don't
was
line
more
up.
teacher or something.
Well, it was mainly based off of Miss Bliss.
Yeah.
It followed her, and then Belding was the principal. They had another teacher that was your token black guy at that point. And then, the kids. And Zach and Screech and Lisa were the only 3.
And Belding.
And Belding that went forward to Saved by the Bell. And it was set in Indiana.
Yeah, I think it was.
Or some shit.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was
even
the
California.
California.
Oh, weird.
The Palisades.
Yeah, the Palisades.
Palisades.
Yeah.
Palisades.
Yeah. And then when you had the college years, I would think that was 3 years, right?
2 or 3, yeah.
I don't think I ever watched any of these college year ones.
They were great. At least I think they were great. I thought they were great.
Yeah, I
They
don't
were
think I ever
aight.
saw them.
They were okay. It was just the same shit, but
In college.
Was it at least a little bit higher level? Like, they were actually going to go
Little
smoke
bit.
some dope and drink some beer?
Yeah, they partied more. There was more about that stuff. And
Yeah.
it was more about, it wasn't like worrying about your groceries, but it was worried about, Zach was still trying to make scams happen. They were still trying to get in sororities and fraternities, things like
Okay,
that.
fair,
So,
fair.
it all played itself
There were
out.
some
kinda
interesting
grew.
characters.
Yeah.
The big football guy
Oh, yeah, that guy. Yeah.
who was like the funny man.
Wasn't he also? Wait a minute! I just realized something. Wasn't he also in Revenge of the Nerds?
I don't know if he was that guy.
Okay,
I don't think he was
I was
Ogre.
going to say Revenge of the Nerds is a decade probably before.
Yeah, I don't think it was Ogre.
I know. Well, because I realized because I watching or listening to Zach to the Future. If you haven't watched or listened to Zach to the Future, it's a podcast featuring Mark Paul Gosselaar and Dasher Driscoll.
Yeah, Dashiell Driscoll, the guy who wrote
Zach
Morris's Trash.
Oh, nice, because that is fun.
Yeah, and the podcast is great. It really does a good job breaking down episodes. And the funny thing, you just you were saying you fast forward through episodes and get it. I'm listening to talk as soon as I get the synopsis of the episode. I'm like, yep. I know exactly.
Yeah, I know exactly which one that is.
I do not know the
Because they'll watch it. Like they've alluded to the fact that they're watching it while they're talking about it too.
Yeah,
and it's almost like, in my brain, it's the same things happen. It's like, okay, I know where that is. I know what's going on in that scene and who's doing what. And,
for sure.
yeah, it's
nice.
And in doing
disgusting.
so, one of the episodes I'm listening to recently, they were talking about how the writers modeled the nerds off of the Revenge of the Nerds. And I was thinking, if it is that guy, same guy that was in the college years. What a nice full circle.
That would have been brilliant, yeah.
But I don't.
But I don't
That's
think
probably the case.
I think he was actually the guy. Might have actually been an ex-football player.
Okay.
Who just so happened to also be humorous.
Yeah. Good.
And they needed a big.
Yeah. Good.
I like the college years fine, but it's like different times, so it was different.
Yeah, I don't have a recollection of ever watching them personally.
No, they weren't on Saturday mornings. That's for sure.
No, I think it was more of like prime time.
Prime time,
yeah, like a TGIF sort of.
Oh, nice. Good
scenario.
for them.
And then they did do the new class, which I didn't really.
I think I watched
maybe
like
I've watched one or two episodes.
I never watched.
It was the Screech and Belding show.
Yeah, that's really what it was.
Really,
with a bunch of kids playing supporting casts.
Yeah,
yeah. And it was like those two are great, but the whole show.
Yeah, wasn't necessary.
yeah.
And then they did the wedding episode, wedding movie.
Wedding movie,
Vegas, yeah.
I do have a recollection of that one, so that one I've probably seen.
I probably have. Yeah.
Probably, yeah.
It was a great movie. I think.
I think
in my mind it is. I loved it. I've seen it 6 times, so I must have loved it.
had to. It was great.
Had to. Yeah, for sure. I loved all that stuff when they went off campus, if you will.
Yeah,
they did a good job.
Nice.
It felt weird though because I was watching the one with Jesse's dad's wedding, where they go to the Palm Springs, in the Marriott Hotel there,
right?
And I don't know, just the fact that it wasn't on a set and the lighting was completely different. It just it almost comes off. This is weird. It almost comes off cheesy, and that's saying
a lot.
That about Saved by the Bell.
I'm gonna say,
yeah,
it comes off cheesy-er.
Yeah,
I guess, right? It just doesn't feel
the
same, and then they have a horrible laugh track because it's not in front of a studio audience.
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
That's frustrating.
So they just have a laugh track.
Yeah, one of my favorite things actually when you bring up that just Saved by the Bell concept and how it was just so TV oriented. It was always they go into the diner, always same table is available, every single time,
or the same two. Sometimes they switched.
Yeah, but mostly
it was
always
but mostly it was that one.
It was the one, or the one across if that needed to be part of the story somehow.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
Sometimes they sat at a round table in front of the jukebox.
That happened. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that was.
My memory is it's always in the same spot every time.
Yeah. And wait, let's talk about that for a second. What high school has a restaurant that you just hang out with before, during, and after school?
A lot.
That clearly will literally bend over backwards for the school and do whatever the fuck they need them to do.
To be honest, if I had a restaurant near a school, I would actually try to do that as well, because then the school's on board with you having patrons coming to spend money on foods, drinks, and beverages, things of this nature.
Yeah. Like, you've got a built-in fan base. But let me tell you how it really works, because I have a friend that owns a restaurant right beside Beale High School.
Well, Beale comes to my mind, but again, it's Beale, so
wow, holy jeez.
Now, Lucas, we don't have one right beside us, but it's okay for us to hop in the car and just drive to the mall. Like, come on.
Yeah. I mean, I always thought if there was like a Bayside in London, it was Lucas. For sure.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah.
I know nothing about London schools.
Oh, my God. Lucas was like the preppy school, for sure. Dave and I, we belonged there. No, we didn't.
But I had so many friends in the corner as I smoked my cigarettes.
I know. That was what it was. We were the smokers. But I have a friend actually that owns a restaurant right by Beale, and they just you're right. They do count on their lunch rushes because that's good. But I mean, I can't see them pulling off a sock hop or some sort of dance contest or something.
Was it not was it on campus? Was it on the school's campus or was it off campus?
I would assume it's off campus.
I can't remember.
Yeah.
I know they mention it. They talk about it in one of the episodes of Zack to the Future.
Yeah.
One of the first few episodes, I think. Maybe even in the first one, because the first episode was Dancing at the Max.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
And I can't remember if they say it was on or off campus.
I would think of it as off, but
they didn't ever allude to having a cafeteria.
No, they never did.
Or did they?
No.
Yes, they did.
Oh, wait, yes. There was
in the No Hope with Dope episode.
That's right.
They allude to having a cafeteria.
Yeah,
so I would probably say it is off campus then.
Has to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Must be right beside.
Must be.
Oh, it would have to be close. Yeah, it would have to be the type of place where you can go hang out after school. That sort
or
of
if you have a spare period.
The problem is watching Saved by the Bell. It does kind of set you up for a false sense of hope because that's not going to exist in real life ever.
No.
Well, your own versions of it do.
Maybe,
and in some way, and again, ignoring for a moment, the fact that it's been 20 years since that show was aired originally.
30,
but we're not going to get into that.
Not 30.
89.
It started in 89, ended
son
in
of a
94.
bitch, it is 30 years.
Yeah, I know. It's okay.
Hang on a second. I need a little bit. But that's what I mean. Like
Did
nowadays,
your back just start hurting?
Oh shit! There's another gray hair. Go on. Sorry.
Well, I forget my fucking point.
Sorry.
30 years. It's
20 years.
30 years.
I know, dude. I know.
Shit.
Yeah. Go on.
Damn, you're really old, eh?
Yeah, I am. Yeah. Wait, hey.
I totally forget where I was going now. Let's move on.
Well, I think your point was is 20 years ago could have been an arcade.
Yes,
Yeah.
there you go. Thank you.
Not
We're back on
necessarily
track.
a diner,
Yeah,
but
similar-ish. Yeah.
Sometimes I know my high school didn't have it, but you make your spot,
Yes.
right? So
Yeah.
And you bring up a good point, Dave. Like we all had our spot. Like we all would hang out wherever it was we're going to hang out, and
Yes.
that's I think what they're trying to get across is this is their spot that they hang out.
Yeah, and again, it's a nice spot. Like,
Yeah.
it is really nice. And as much as we're joking, like, no, where we went to high school, there was nowhere to hang out.
No, we like now apparently there is because the area is developed, but
Well, not really in that
no,
area.
not that much. Yeah, but either way, you're right. We didn't have like a spot because of where we were located.
Yeah.
But
But yeah, you go Beale, anything downtownish. Yeah, they're
Yeah.
going to be better. Even south is decent, things
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, that's true.
we had nothing like that whatsoever.
Yeah,
by any
but
of our
you
high
lived
schools.
out in the Erie countries
That's
area.
Yeah. you wanted to grow up in fucking buttfuck
I
nowhere.
wanted to.
So- oh, I'm sorry.
I wanted to, right?
I'm sure you had your own fun.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, it was
Yeah,
more of an
There's
after
probably
school or
beers,
if you
bears,
skip school.
beers.
Bears.
There was beers and bears, probably.
Maybe bears drinking beer.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Oh, I've seen it.
Sure.
That would be really cool.
Oh, yeah.
I've never seen
Deers drinking beers too.
Not as cool, but I still want to see it.
No,
Yeah.
I've seen it.
Bears would be more entertaining. I've
Way
seen
more entertaining.
raccoons drink beer.
I have seen that too, actually.
Yeah.
The videos of it. I've never seen it like live. But,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like live.
Oh, we saw it live.
Pay
I thought we saw
tickets.
it from your place.
Oh wait,
When you lived in that
Shit,
upstairs
you're right.
thing and they were all outside.
That's
and
right.
shit.
I just thought we were watching the movie because I think we were fucked up. But
It's legal, so it's fine.
it's fine. It's really fine.
It's okay.
I'm Saved by the Bell.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. So that was the first episode you picked.
Yeah, the No Hope with Dope one.
Yes, I love that episode.
The next one would have been the Jessie caffeine pills one.
Okay,
yeah.
that one I do
That one's just a
remember.
classic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I do
It's
remember that one.
Quintessential.
It was incredibly overacted I mean, obviously.
On everybody's part, by the way,
Yeah.
not just Elizabeth Berkley, Jesse,
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah. Like everybody was fucking overacting.
Oh, they were
Yeah,
hamming
yeah.
up the scenery in that one.
Oh my god!
But the
Chewing up.
message, I guess,
Right.
is why it's a good episode, right? Like you should be careful with what you're sticking in your body for what reasons.
And I genuinely felt for Jesse in that episode. Like I was like,
Yeah.
this girl's
Oh, yeah.
in trouble.
Well, it's because the reasoning and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I look
Yeah.
back, the acting was fun, but the reasoning, like she was stressed. That was the one thing she's supposed to be doing, and
Yeah.
she's challenged. And hey, you know what? It's a good description of life, even for people today.
Yeah. What I love the most about that episode is they could have easily written it so it ends on a happy note. She just goes and does the dance thing, but they don't.
No.
They're like, no, you need rest.
Yeah.
This can go on. And things do work out with her getting the kind of the help she needs. And I like that a lot. Like they could have been tied in a nice little bow and
Yeah.
they didn't do that.
And they're just happy-ish, but no, they a little bit of rough on it.
Yeah.
They did that
yeah.
a couple times with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the Running Zach episode it comes
Yeah.
back again. The portrayal of Native American culture was really skewed, but they did wrap that up with. I mean, the guy passed away.
Yeah.
The native guy in the episode that Zach goes to talk to passes away.
Right.
Oh, in
And
the
it just-
episode, shit.
And it just kind of leaves that lingering bummer
Yeah.
Mm.
over the whole thing. Because he was like a little bit of a mentor
Yeah.
Gotcha.
in the situation, right?
Sure.
Again.
Also, the drinking driving one that also was kind of ends on a rough patch.
How did that one end again? I know they fixed the car. Doesn't Zach just get in shit?
He does get in shit, and he loses his license. His dad. Takes his license away and stuff.
I have no recollection of this episode.
Good old
It's one of the Tory episodes. That's what I call it. The Tory episodes. Tori's the one girl.
The Tory years.
Tori was enough woman for both Kelly and Jessie, apparently, because she replaced them both. They're like, what the fuck? No, I actually like Tori. She was actually cool. But in that episode, and they get caught, and Zach loses his license, and like rightfully so. I mean,
well, yeah,
he could be dumb, right? I mean, and I think that's good. Like, I mean, it wasn't like, oh, Zach, you fucked up, but we're gonna take care of you. No, it wasn't like
which
that.
a lot lot of the episodes.
Especially back in the early days.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I think when they got to the later, well, I guess the Jesse's pills episode was in season 2.
Yeah, it was.
So they still dealt with that death, drugs, drinking and driving, stuff like that, right?
Well, can I talk about episodes?
I got one more.
Okay, he's got
one more classic.
Sorry.
One more classic.
I'm excited.
The
jeez, no touching the table. Remember
I call it the Saved by the Bell Spinal Tap episode.
Okay,
the rockumentary.
Oh, yeah. The rockumentary
with his
fucking Zach attacks. Friends Forever. Yeah. Like hit song of ever, like
it's
all time. There's no better
episode ever, but it's so good. It's so bad it's good.
You must remember it. It was
I need a description.
So basically the band realizes they got something and they're picked up for a record deal and they turn into a big thing. And it's basically just the friends. Like they just all play instruments except of
Jessie.
Jessie does not. And they become bona fide rock stars. And this one agent gets in Zach's ear, decides to separate, and he becomes like
Vanilla Ice
basically. Yeah.
I have no recollection.
Oh
of
my
this.
god,
Nice.
you need to watch this episode. Like,
so bad, it's good.
It's so bad, it's so good. Yeah. But the whole thing, I don't want to spoil it now. Whatever, you're gonna watch it anyway. So the whole thing, they reconcile, they become friends again, and it's Screech that brings them all together because Screech is awesome.
That's his duty. Yes.
Yeah, that's his duty. Yeah, and but then you realize it was all just a dream that Slater was having.
No, Zach was having.
Oh, Zach was having.
I was say
because I was the drumming thing that I think of, but you're right. It was Zach that was passed out in this. Yeah.
See,
interesting.
It goes back.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, it's so bad it's good.
It's so bad it's good.
There's some pretty cheesy reference, like Vanilla Ice reference, I think.
Yeah,
nice.
And a Madonna reference.
Yeah. But it's a really great showing. Like it's the lesson still holds up today. It's like
Friends Forever.
Well, that's I think was Saved by the Bell's ultimate theme was friends, right? Like how to build friendship. And I would say
buddy bands.
But like I mean that's I think why we all not why we all, but I know why I cherish my friends that have tried to be a good friend and loyal and all that sort of stuff is because I watch Saved by the Bell. It's like, oh, here are these people. Sure, Zach's a piece of shit, but he's still loyal to his friends.
when he realizes,
to a degree,
yeah. But it's kind of a.
He does the I realize my fault thing.
Yeah. And the rest of them
so
are all
many
great
times.
friends.
I realize my fault after you caught me in the act.
Right? Yeah.
Exactly. That's
There's a lot of oops, I fucked up.
Ding. We're at school. We can afford it, right? No, we can. Yes, we can. Okay, all right.
That's the other thing that kind of blows my mind, and I got listening to the podcast made me realize it too because they bring it up a few times. All of these kids are well off. Except for Kelly.
Yeah, Kelly's the one that's not real off.
Kelly's dad she's always trying to raise money to give to her family or some shit,
right.
to work for money. But all of these other kids are well off. Their families are well off, but they always seem to need $600. It's always $600. That was just like the standard number. Maybe once it was $8, maybe once, but usually it's $600.
Yeah,
for a something. And their parents can't give them this money. They can't have this. Like, I'm sure they get $600 a month in allowance.
Wait a second, but then they'll have episodes like the to start your own business or whatever. They'll give everybody like student $100.
Yeah.
So wait a minute, you'll give every student $100, but you all need $600 for this other.
That'd be hilarious. Can you imagine a project as a kid? You're $100 to start. Okay, yeah. I'm gonna totally spend this money on something that's appropriate.
What
I'm
do I
not
have
going
in my
to go
house
to
that I
Aces
can pretend
Arcade.
is something?
Yeah, exactly. Which really means we'll spend like $10 on the project.
Oh yeah, no, you have to spend something to prove it out.
You got to buy the poster board to make the
that's right.
the thing, right?
That's right. That's right. Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, those are my three. The
Nice.
three that stand out, I guess, in my
Nice.
I knew two of them.
in my head the most.
Do you have any you want to talk about?
No, as I said,
Okay.
like I could never pick it. And I went on the YouTube and I was going to go and watch old episodes and get some thoughts. And I did see some clips, but then I got a little caught up in some of the fun stuff. And,
Yeah. Well, I'm sure you must be loving the Zach Morris's trash.
Well,
yeah, that's
even if you
really where I got caught up.
even if you watch all of those, you still get a synopsis of
Yeah.
what
Well,
the
and to
episode's
be honest,
about.
it did help because I did see a couple and I was like, oh yeah, the drug one, things like that. It's just like,
Yeah,
it was amusing.
All right. Well, I'll talk about a couple. Let's talk about the Christmas episode, because that episode is fucking amazing and completely misrepresentative of homeless people everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure. Do you remember this episode?
I do not.
All right. So
Brief
basically,
synopsis, please.
it's a two-parter.
Oh, you vague.
And what the episode is, the kids are no, they're not. The mall is putting on a Christmas Carol play at the mall, and a bunch of the kids are involved in it. And Zach finds this hot girl who's not Kelly, and
She works with Kelly at the clothes store.
at the clothing store, exactly. And in the meantime, Zach and Screech go to the bathroom in the mall. This is also again off campus. This is like not on at the school. And there's a
I
homeless
think we
guy.
could assume there's no mall at the school.
Well,
but-
you don't know. You don't know. I mean, it's Bayside. Maybe there is.
It is
Not
LA.
a mall, just a couple of stores. Totally
Yeah,
different.
that's a totally different thing. Yeah. It's like the Gap, the Max,
Banana
High School,
Republic.
High School, Banana Republic. Okay. So they go to the bathroom and there's a homeless dude in there. They would think it's homeless, so they end up like putting money in like the payphones. Back in the day, where payphones were a thing, to give the guy money. And as the story goes, you start to learn that it's this girl that he's into is his daughter, and the both of them are living in his car.
Okay.
And then the whole thing is about how they're going to try to help this family for Christmas and it parodies A Christmas Carol because the store owner is a total dick.
Yeah.
Very much like Scrooge.
Okay, gotcha.
Kelly puts a sport coat on hold for the homeless guy.
Yeah, so he can get a job. That's the reason why.
But he blames the girl that Zach's into, the homeless guy's daughter. Can't remember names. I feel bad.
Yeah.
Blames her for stealing it.
Yeah.
Because she's homeless.
Right.
Okay.
It was one of those stereotype kind of
Gotcha,
things. Like, you're
gotcha.
homeless, you stole that.
For
and
sure.
then Kelly's like, no, I put it in the back. But he's, total Scrooge.
Yeah, and then so they all work it out, and it's a happy ending. But then this is where the fucked up part thing is. This is where their idea on how to help homeless people comes in.
Okay.
Zach's family is going to move them into their house until they can find steady employment. And then can move on their own. Like,
That's very helpful.
that's very helpful.
A little
Just not
special.
very practical, nor would that.
Well, not realistic.
Especially if you don't know.
That's more where it is.
Like
yeah.
if one of your family friends became
Yeah.
homeless and was in that
course.
situation, that might be a different.
Oh no, I think that would be if it was a friend, somebody you knew, you cared about, and you knew that they'd hit, a little bit of a bumpiness because of life. Then hey, yeah.
So basically, Zach convinced his parents to move the girl he was into his house so he could have on-call booty.
That's really it. Yeah. That's the fucked part.
No, actually, that now totally makes sense to me.
Because Zach Morris is trash.
Zach did the hey, as long as it's all on the up and up and he gets proper consent. Even if that consent is,
true.
I am tired of you effing asking me, fine, let's go do something.
Shit, Dave, that's great. Oh my god.
So which episodes were these? I'm kind of curious
Oh
now.
well, you're gonna have to watch this. Is a Christmas episode.
I think, it's called like Merry Christmas or I don't know.
Mary, is the girl's name Mary?
It might be actually.
Merry Zach Christmas.
It might be. Oh, you might be right.
I don't think it was.
I don't know. I'm making shit up. Okay, so that was
Wow.
number one.
That was good. Oh man, I love how you just justified
Home
Zach's position.
Home for Christmas is what it's called.
Christmas.
Oh, that's less exciting.
Oh. Well, no, but it's fitting because that's what happens.
No, unfortunately, her name's not Mary. It's Laura.
Oh, Laura, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah. It's fucking so ridiculous, but it's so great. It's so great. And then the next episode is just as equally ridiculous. It's another mall episode. And that is the U2 concert tickets episode.
The YouTube?
U2.
U2.
The band
Oh,
U2.
U2.
Before
yeah.
YouTube was
I
a
want to
thing.
say, it was,
This is so bonkers. They wait in line at the mall when you had to wait in line for concert tickets to get U2 tickets.
Screech waits in line.
Screech waits in line, yeah.
I have a vague recollection of this one.
Something happens. They're sold out. They can't get tickets.
Yeah.
So the idea is they're going to hide out in the mall to get tickets.
Yeah.
And they do this thing where they go spending, like, all these hijinks happen where they go to the sports memorabilia place.
Yeah.
And they
do you not remember why though? Because they found $5,000.
Right, because they found $5,000.
And then these two dudes who look like mob dudes come in and start looking for the money, and they start chasing them around.
I remember
hijinky. And then they hide it in a shoebox.
That's right. Yep.
And then poof, it's gone, and then they have to go find it again.
Yeah, and it becomes this whole thing. But then the whole episode ends because they're on candid camera.
Yeah, surprise!
The whole episode.
We were going to give you the money. And they lost the money or whatever, or gave it back, or it was a candid camera joke thing.
Yeah, so there was no lesson.
I do not remember this.
Fucking, it was just a standalone episode where they wanted to get,
just
it was like
finish.
fucking Scooby Doo.
That was very much like Scooby Doo.
It was like fucking Scooby Doo.
It really was. But I love it. I love it. It just makes me so happy at how ridiculous and how far they're going to go for these tickets. And then it's like, oh, by the way, you don't have to go far at all. You just had to.
Wasn't it like $5,000 and tickets or something like that?
Nice.
It's just so
it was a radio station fucking promotion thing. Yeah.
So good. So good. Those are the two I wanted to talk about. I don't know why. I just love those episodes so much. It's like none of them help the people involved at all.
No.
It's like this was purely made for entertainment and enjoyment. That's all it was made for.
Yeah.
Which is okay-ish.
I think that's fine. Yeah.
There were plenty of episodes like that.
Yeah.
There were weird episodes too, like were they? Oh, what was happening? I can't remember. It was they were taking like driving lessons or some shit.
Oh yeah, yeah, with Mr. Tuttle,
and then Mr. Tuttle, and Zach rigs because Slater's gonna teach Kelly how to drive or something like that, and then Zach rigs the golf cart that they were practicing driving in.
Practicing in a golf cart.
Rigs the brakes. They get into an accident, and don't they have like Kelly, because she hit her head or some shit, she goes all fucking loopy.
Sounds like crazy.
with a bat and shit.
Yeah.
But it was all a ruse to get Zach back.
Well, it was a ruse to get Kelly, then it was a ruse to get back. Yeah.
Gotcha. They knew kind of what started it, and
but again, no lessons learned.
No.
There's nothing. It's just like, Zach,
Whoopsie.
don't be an asshole. Yeah, okay.
Zach, don't be an asshole.
Okay.
That's how a lot of episodes end, right?
You caught me being an ass.
Just imagine how far better off that school would have been if Zach wasn't there.
And to think.
Be a little bit more boring.
It would be very boring.
And to think, we wanted to be like that guy.
I know. It's crazy to think.
Oh, yeah.
Sure. But fast forward to the reboot/remake. To answer your question from earlier, how they've done it is a little jarring to watch it because it's not single camera anymore. So you see a lot more of Bayside. Like they give you external shots, they give you just shots around.
It's not it's not a flat like on a soundstage sort of idea.
It's I would say it's the same kind of campy writing as before, but the difference this time is they're making fun of it. And the reason why they're doing that is full disclosure, Zach Morris, the governor, fucked up an education thing, had to close a bunch of schools down. Those schools turned out to be inner city schools. And so the public is like, you asshole. What are you doing? You fucked up lives. What are you going to do about it? I was like, we didn't know it was going to be this bad. We'll figure it out. And someone's like, why don't you just send the inner city schools to schools like Bayside and play people that you keep it open? It's like, that's a great idea. And so that's the premise. They have these inner city kids going to Bayside and interacting with, Mac Morris and Jeremy. What's their son's name?
I can't remember.
Well,
that's not their son. Kelly's not Kelly.
No, Jesse's son.
Yeah.
Jeremy?
I can't remember.
Jamie. But honestly, I don't know where this goes, but if he's not Slater's son, I'll be surprised because they look a lot alike, and I'm pretty.
I've watched the whole thing. Like, I still not I can't pick it out like you're doing right now. But I know the end of the first. They get a second season, but
all I want to know is this: do we meet Jesse's husband in the first season?
think so.
Okay,
Yes,
so,
I believe we do.
That's one thing I'm still iffy on.
Have you gotten to the joke about the pills?
Oh yeah,
Where
well,
Jessie
the joke.
comes- yeah.
I'm so excited. Yeah, you'd be like, I'm so excited. You won't be able to go and sing at your band's show. They made a couple of pretty funny references to that.
Yeah.
So it's actually really cool to see because, like, that's the other thing too. These inner city kids come here, and then some of the scams or things that are happening. They're like, wait a minute, like, so people just do this at this school? And they're like, yeah, like, it makes no freaking sense at all.
Yeah, it follows one of the inner city students would be the main character.
She's very much, I would say she's more in tune with Jessie than anybody else, but she can do Zach's tropes where she can freeze time. She,
like the time freezer.
Yeah, the bubble thingy, whatever, all that sort of stuff. So she's kind of like the lead, if you will. But they design it in a way where there really isn't a lead, which I thought was really smart about Saved by the Bell in general. And they kind of done that with this here.
Zach was the star.
He was the star.
Zach was a bit.
Zach was the star of the show,
but everybody was part of it. But yeah, Zach was.
Oh, he pulled everybody into his bullshit.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
But he was definitely the star.
Yeah, because he had to do the freeze.
Yeah.
Not this freeze, but
that was another show. That was a great show.
Was that Small Wonder?
No, Another World.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
So Small Wonder was the one with the robot girl.
That's right, the robot girl. Yeah.
I'm a robot girl.
But I loved Another World. I wanted, gosh.
Yes.
That was an alien. Oh my God. That was amazing.
Yeah, because he was in the crystal thing.
He was, yeah.
Well, that's how they chit-chatted,
Yeah.
He wasn't in it. That was the communicator.
Oh, that was the phone.
He was off planet. Like, what are you going to do?
Yeah. Chitty-chatty. He was always there for her, too. As soon as she rang him, boom, done.
He gave his daughter the ability to freeze time.
God, if I had that ability.
Oh, see, now my question always was what happens... How far does Zach's time freezing?
Right?
Because does it stop the whole school? I know he can call places and order things.
Yeah. I just recently listened to one of the podcasts. I think I'm with Dashiell's opinion on this. And that is, it's within the room that he's in.
Okay.
But that doesn't make a whole lot of sense because
everything else is going on. Everything else is still fucking happening in real life, right? But I think in the context of the show, that's what makes sense.
No, from my perspective, it's always just been that what's going on in his head.
Oh.
We see it as him explaining to us what exactly he's thinking in this moment, but in reality, it's just
happening.
Well, there's two versions of that, though. There's two versions. There's the talk to camera.
Yeah, that's the one I'm thinking of.
Right, where he'll just break the fourth wall and talk to the camera. But there's also the time freezing thing where he's not necessarily explaining to the camera what's going on. He's trying to figure out a solution within the situation.
Oh, it's the same thing in my opinion.
That's a good explanation, Dave.
It's
just actually really good. Yeah. Like it's all in his head.
Yeah, it's his head. Yeah. In one version is him explaining out to the people watching him, which is creepy in itself, but never mind. And then there's him digesting, understanding. But again, it's all in his head.
You know what?
Everybody else is frozen.
You want to know how it's creepy? When you're with a bunch of people, just act like you're talking to a studio audience. See what happens. See what happens. They're going to be like, what the fuck are you doing?
I really want to try to do that. You know what? I should do it to my children.
You should.
That's how you get the men in the white coats to come and take you away.
We'll be
At
right
least
back,
if you do it in public. If you do it to your kids, it might be funny.
I should do it with kids. I'll do it in public too. Why the fuck not?
I like that though. I might steal that. That's a really great explanation. Yeah, maybe it is all just in Zach's head. I mean, it kind of fits for the ego that he has, and
that was always my thing, is that it was all just basically an instant thing, but it's his perspective, and it's us to consume and understand why he's about to do or think or whatever, blah, blah, blah.
And I wonder if I thought that as a kid too, because I never wanted Zach's time freezing abilities.
No.
But I wanted the girl from Small Wonders. I knew she fucking stopped time.
Yes.
But whereas watching Zach, I wasn't always so sure.
I
wasn't sure,
yeah.
Hers would be more outside the house.
Oh, I'm pretty sure she could stop
just
time
stop
on
the
the whole
world?
planet. Yeah, I'm sure.
There was always that thing. What happened if I stopped time, fell down the stairs, and died?
Exactly. That's a fucked up question.
Fucked.
You need help, sir.
Even as a kid, I'm like, fuck. Does it wear off eventually?
That's a good question.
Slowly start to speed back up?
Does the world stop spinning?
Does it just stop when she dies?
Or you turn back on?
Yeah, sorry, yeah.
No, yeah.
That's what I mean. Does
I don't know.
the effect stop? If
See,
she falls
that's a good point,
if she falls down the stairs as soon as she breaks her neck and she's dead, Everybody just
comes back.
Yeah.
So yeah, 1 minute you're talking to her, next minute she's on the bottom of the slips, dead.
Oh, can you imagine?
Yeah.
And if I was that poor guy, I'd be like, fuck.
I don't.
Whoops.
I just know
I learned my lesson.
there's not enough therapy I'm gonna have to take in to figure out what the hell happened. But
Exactly.
yeah, for sure. For sure. Yeah. So yeah, that's the new reboot. I was like, what the hell? That we just rolled into. Yeah. I like it. I'm going to keep watching it, and I can't wait for season 2. I think
it's funny.
Great. It actually is really good.
Which network is it on, or where can you see it?
Peacock.
I don't even know what that is.
NBC's streaming service.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, which we do have here in Canada, but not officially.
Gotcha.
So, like, we can't use it, but it's here. It's like Adult Swim. You can watch, like...
But you can sign up to Adult Swim nowadays.
You can?
Yeah, you have to do it through the Amazon. You do the sub sign-up-y stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Stack TV.
Yeah, that whole thing.
And you got to watch commercials.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, either way,
Anyway,
the same thing.
I'll Google it.
Yeah. It'll be on whatever NBC affiliate is here in Canada. So, sure.
I'm just curious.
It's entertaining. It's better than the Full House reboot.
1,000% it is.
It's funny that you
1,000%.
so actually the only thing I'm gonna push back on that one a little bit is it was the reboot was something that my kids were able to hook into a little bit.
Okay.
Right timing of everything for Sam and Curtis, and then they liked it so much that while they were waiting for the new episodes of the reboot, they actually went back and watched the old one.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah, so to me, actually, would I have watched it on my own? No. But it was a good one to actually, I was sitting down with my kids to watch Full House.
I'll plus one that too, because Full House is never my show.
No.
I don't hate it. It just was not my show.
Yeah.
But those that were fans of it love the reboot, love what they did with it. And they kept the same corniness. They kept the same kind of premise and writing and all of that. So it's like, I know my wife and other fans of the show like eat it up religiously. So I appreciate it. I
wouldn't say it was terrible.
No, I mean, there won't be.
Himself now.
I guarantee Lori Loughlin won't be in the next season, but whatever. We won't talk about that.
Well, yeah, that's.
They're done now. But I think
I didn't think they made new ones
Oh,
anymore.
I think she was in the first. She was in the first season, I think, and then after that was when
things get a little.
Things went awry with her whole scenario, and then they said
education.
Nope, she'll come back.
Well, it wasn't so much the education; it's just that challenge of you were kind of breaking a lot of rules and doing kind of roughy stuff, and we just kind of don't want your name to be associated with us once we realize what you're doing.
Well, then her husband plead guilty, and
they both did, I think.
Yeah.
Did they do time?
Yeah,
they're going to do time.
I don't think so.
Okay, whatever. It doesn't matter. Either way, for comparison's sake, I agree. I like the Save the Bell reboot far more than the Full House or many others out there. But if you're a Full House fan, you're gonna like Full House.
So I want to see a Family Matters reboot.
I'm sure it's coming.
I want to know what happened to the daughter.
I don't know. What.
No? You never realized that?
I mean, I like Family Matters. I watched it,
I think it was like season 2 or 3. They had the oldest son. I can't remember his name. Eddie.
Yep.
Eddie Winslow. And they had Laura.
Yep.
And they had Judy.
Oh, right.
They had a young daughter.
Braids.
And then they had
or the pigtails.
Then they had the other little boy, the sister's son.
Right.
But then Judy just disappears after like 3 seasons. She's gone.
Wikipedia.
I never watched.
No more Judy.
I'd never watched that closely. Yeah.
No, there's no more Judy.
Huh. That is interesting.
I think it was one of those your character just doesn't have a place things. We already have a little kid character and he's funnier than you.
My favorite of that style, but I still like how they kind of rolled with it, was the old Roseanne show.
Yeah.
Yeah, the original.
Oh, yeah. I love that.
Where what's her name leaves and then they have the replacement come on that, they same character, but completely different.
Yeah.
They actually...
When the original returns, they start making fun of her, like,
where were you?
Where were you?
Yeah, for sure, yeah.
They actually make fun of that when Roseanne returned with the rebooty, yeah.
Not that I've watched it, but I'm aware of it.
Not terrible, even without Roseanne.
Yeah.
I liked it with Roseanne. I didn't watch it without, but
I have to admit, for me, Roseanne will always be the old school. Just God, I love that show. God, growing up, it just had all the right messaging, everything that was going on in it. Even when they got to the last season and kind of really went,
I was going to say I liked it up until a certain point. I liked it up until they won the lottery.
That's about where, don't get me wrong, even back then, meh. But when I rewatched that last season, and it's one of the few ones I have rewatched, No, I kind of, that little bit of the hat tip. I know where you're trying to go.
Yeah. I've always liked Roseanne.
The original series, yeah.
The original series, yeah. It was good. And again, like you said, it was, I mean, how many other, I could think of maybe Married with Children, but how many other shows outside
that was
of
more,
that?
well, I guess Roseanne was comedic, but I always thought Married with Children was more comedic.
Yeah, Married with
more
Children
slapsticky, more laughy.
Yeah.
Continuity and everything like that wasn't a big
No, God,
deal,
did not
right?
care.
No.
Like it wasn't like Roseanne where it was more serialized.
Right. But
cause and effect.
Yeah.
my reason for the comparison, like I can't think of another show that time or even before that kind of represented what our lifestyles were at that time. And Roseanne did a really good job of that.
It was very blue collar.
Yeah. Which you just didn't. And
you
maybe
still-
All in
you
the Family? Maybe.
All in the Family
Maybe. Yeah.
definitely
That's for the
started
time.
a lot
For the
of
time,
was,
yeah.
was it
Yeah, Roseanne was
inspiration
our
too.
time.
Yeah, I
of
guess so.
All in the Family.
Yeah, because I can't think
She
of
was
any.
basically Archie Bunker,
Yeah.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Yeah, she was.
right?
Yeah.
Yep. No, she
Yeah,
was.
for sure.
And whatnot. But it was, I think it was a little more. Roseanne felt more real
Oh,
yeah.
as a sitcom, right? Where
Very seeped in real.
because All in the Family was still in that time period where you couldn't go that blue.
Mhm.
They were going as blue as they could get
Right.
with their comedy, but they
Yeah,
couldn't
it
go.
could be super blue.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
couldn't go Roseanne.
No,
Those
no.
conversations in Roseanne were conversations that were happening in my household. For
Yeah.
sure.
Yes.
They were. Definitely. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Whereas, I mean, All in the Family did deal with some pretty heavy shit though. Like they dealt with race a lot.
Yeah. Race was a big thing.
You know,
Dating your daughter.
Archie always got the shit end of the stick when it came to stuff like that, which was good to see, I guess, at that point, right?
Yeah. Well, you're villain to get his licks, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sure.
But yeah, All in the Family, Married with Children. Yeah, I think that
was comedy.
That was just
Great show, though.
It was.
It was wrong in so many ways.
Isn't it crazy that all the cast found out that show was canceled from the news?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, not to get too off topicy, but yeah, that was they all found out from the news report. No one told them over the phone or whatever. They just got canceled.
It's like Sammy Hagar
Shit.
getting kicked out of Van Halen, man.
Kind of is, yeah. And you start to hear some of the stories about people that didn't like each other and shit. And it's like, well, yeah, that's probably why no one got the phone call.
Yeah, probably.
That's probably exactly it. And here they are now on to bigger and better careers. So, with the exception of
Ed O'Neill.
No, Ed O'Neill's gone to better careers. He's been on.
What you said, with the exception of?
No, with the exception of David. Dave
Sorry.
Alfonso?
Faustino.
Faustino, thank you, Dave Faustino.
Yeah, he fizzled out. And sorry, my brain got it all backwards.
But virtually everybody else has done great.
Oh,
things
yeah.
since then. Yeah.
Well, even
Marcy.
no, I really enjoy Christina Applegate after that show specifically though. I love Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dad.
Oh, that's
I think that's a
that was a
phenomenal
awesome
movie.
movie.
She
Yeah,
is
that was a
so
good
good in that
Yeah,
movie.
It was a fun one. I remember that one.
And then again, kind of going into obscurity, and then
Anchorman.
bringing her back into.
She's
the,
in a recent series
spotlight.
Shanna's watched. That was good. With
She's been in a few after Anchorman.
They kill somebody or something.
Yeah, it's called.
Yeah.
I probably shouldn't have said that. I apologize.
No. It's a big point for the
I
beginning.
think that's like the plot point of, of the show.
I can't remember, but it is. It's. I've seen.
I haven't watched it, but I do know
Shan.
Shan has watched it.
It's really good.
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
She was in a sitcom-y one beforehand. Like this was maybe going back 10 years ago. Again, after Anchorman, the first one. That was about. I think it was her and Will Arnett.
Okay.
And they were raising a family.
Yep,
It was
I remember
just
that.
a sitcom about raising a family
I don't
and
think I ever saw that
goofy shit happening and stuff like
Didn't
that.
last long though, did it?
No, but it was funny.
It was really funny.
It was good.
Well, Will Arnett, he's a genius, and Christina Aguilera,
Peggy Bundy,
Christina Applegate. Sorry,
Peggy Bundy, Katie
Seagal.
Thank you. My brain went to say Katy Perry. Katie Seagal, phenomenal actress,
Unbelievable,
phenomenal. And the fact that they included her in the Connors.
Yeah. Oh wow.
She's Dan's love interest.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
She
Wow,
came
wow.
in as Dan's love interest in the Connors. Oh, she's
nice.
really good. Because they've kept it again that same tone of this family just trying to get by.
Yeah.
After Roseanne's leaving.
Oh, she'd be perfect to fill in that for that role.
Yeah, she's not. I mean, she's not Roseanne again. She's not
No.
that mean-spirited, loving mom kind of yeah. But it's good.
Yeah.
Nice.
I don't mind it. It's pretty heavy though. Like they touch on a lot of topics on the Connors.
Oh, okay.
Is what it's called. They touch on a lot of topics that are just like, holy shit.
Nice.
Like politics and.
I think that's where it was going though, because I mean, Roseanne's very outspoken about her political beliefs and her whatever. So I think that they were probably planning on incorporating that already. Not that say that it makes it any less heavy, but I feel like they're just trying to tap into what they were trying to do with the show previously.
Keeping it real.
Yeah, trying their best to keep it real, right? Because it makes it more relevant, more impactful.
Yeah.
You can,
Maybe I should give it a bit more of a try.
Yeah, maybe I should too.
It's not terrible. What's her name? Darlene kind of fills in that Roseanne role
that,
of the crotchety kind of cynical person, right?
Mm-hmm.
Dan's the same.
It kind of sucks that Roseanne's not involved and she's not dead.
She's in the show.
Pardon?
She is in the show.
I know, but that's just anyway. Whatever. It doesn't matter. We're not going to get into that.
Well, that's what happens when you say shit. On
the but there's so much nuance there. But we're not. Listen, that's not. We're not even supposed to be talking about Roseanne. Okay. Okay.
It was about Saved by the Bell.
Technically, we were just talking about the Connors.
That's true. We were.
That's true.
That's true. Semantics over here.
Actually, I'll take that as a compliment. Thank you.
Yeah, you should. You should.
Nice.
Yeah, I'll think of another word for semantics to call you later. Because I don't know what I could think of right now.
Some asshole.
Some asshole.
Wait. Not some asshole. The asshole.
He's all asshole all the way. For sure. Yeah. Well, do we want to wrap things up by talking about Save the Bells? Anything else we want to touch upon about this fantastic show that has endured all these years?
I can't think of anything for myself, I have to admit.
It was Ferris Bueller, the sitcom.
Yeah. Yeah, in a lot of ways it was. Yeah. I would say that's probably the most apt description.
Zach and Ferris Bueller are very much the same.
Very similar in scope, for sure.
Ferris Bueller was trash, too.
Yeah.
If you think about it.
It's
the movie is a wonderful movie. I love the movie. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. It taught me how to skip school. Sorry, Mom and Dad. But it taught me how to skip school. It kind of put that idea into my head.
Yeah.
But yeah, he is a horrible person.
Well, they're both sociopaths that will do whatever the fuck they want to get what they want.
Yeah. That's fair. I'll give you on that one.
Yeah.
Fair.
And it's I mean, both Ferris and Zach show signs of maturity and friendship, but they're few and far in between. Like they're clearly in it for their own game, they're such sociopaths that they think they're talking to a fucking audience. Yep, like that's their.
Yep.
That's their thing. Yep.
Okay, that's fair. Hey, all right. Fine.
Great. Both, I still want to be when I grow up.
When you grow up.
I just want to say that.
if I grow up.
Exactly. Yeah.
Nice.
I would agree.
I want to be Belding. What are you talking about?
Oh
God. Jeez. Well, you might get there soon, sir. You never know. Just kidding. But if you're out there, Saved by the Bell fan, Saved by the Bell.
Saved by the Bell man.
Saved by the Bell. If you're a Saved by the Bell fan and you're not listening to, or you haven't watched Zach Morris's Trash, or you have not paid attention to Zach to the Future, the podcast, you're missing out. Both are great companion pieces. There's also, I've learned now, there's a whole bunch of literature out there, books and such.
We didn't even talk about
I know.
Behind the Bell by Dustin Diamond, which apparently full of lies. Maybe not.
Yeah, who knows? Yeah, but I'm gonna say probably not, because I really earnestly believe what Mark Paul's saying about their time back then. So
I'm sure I'm sure some of it came from a place of being scorned, and
sure,
I think some truths might have been
finessed.
Yeah.
Well, seen from that perspective, I
guess he was the youngest cast member too, right? So
he was.
They kind of maybe didn't bring him along on a lot of adventures.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I mean,
I have no clue.
And they also did make a TV movie based off of it, though.
They did.
It was the unauthorized Saved by the Bell story or something like that, and it was a terrible, terrible, terrible movie.
Yeah, I can't do it.
It was definitely like almost like if TMZ produced a movie or something like that. Just the information just probably isn't accurate.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's just like, this is just a bunch of lies. Like one of the made-for-TV movies where you know all the facts. So like, these aren't the facts,
Right?
What is this? Exactly. That's exactly it. I watch those and watch the new reboot. I think it's great. You should.
I'll try. I will put it on the list.
It's really fun. It's a really good time.
Nice.
And before we wrap up, speaking a little bit about mental health today, for anybody out there that is feeling unwell upstairs, do yourself a favor. Know that you matter, not just to us, but to those around you, and just talk to people. There are people available. We will have links within our comment section, our description section. That's what I meant to say. For you to kind of reach out to people and talk to them, because it's important to talk about your mental health. Aside from that, if you're not watching Saved by the Bell, I don't know what's wrong with you, but
My wife doesn't like it.
it's okay. That's fine. It's not for everybody. I understand that. But until next time, I've been Harvey.
Da Dave.
Time out.
Nice.
I'm AJ.
And just like Saved by the Bell, you've just been sarcastically distracted. Have yourselves a great day.
Take care.
Bye-bye now.